Hello everyone, my name is Legendary Gamer, and today, as you may have seen from the title, we're here to talk about the Stranger's Rifle. Now everybody knows about this gun. It's the rare pulse rifle that you got in year 1 from defeating the last mission in the first story mode, and it was pretty good for a rare pulse rifle. Shouldn't have been legendary. Very good in PvE back then. It's still good in PvP since attack damage doesn't matter in PvP. But eventually, after you defeated the story in year 1, you got better legendaries. Then DLC came out with even more attacks, so there was no reason to use this gun anymore. So everybody stopped using it, but it is a superb gun. You may have seen gameplays of me using this gun in Crucible. It's very good. Link to those videos will be in the description. It's my favorite gun in Crucible right now. And before the Taken King came out, this gun was upped to a legendary and the attack was upped. So the days before the Taken King came, it was actually the most powerful gun in the game. But you know, now we're into the Taken King DLC, and there's no reason to use this gun because it's not that powerful anymore. It's only 170, and we have guns that are way more damage. Now, like the black hammer to the black spindle, there is a new exotic version called the No Time to Explain, as you can see here. Now, they did talk about this gun when Game Informer got to play the Taken King, and they talked about the No Time to Explain, but people didn't know where to get it until recently. Just like the black spindle to the black hammer, the stats are identical, the perks are identical except for one perk, and now I'm going to tell you guys how to get it before I get into actually talking about the weapon itself. So here we go. Now, to get this exotic weapon, the first part to getting it is going to be a lot like getting the black spindle. You're going to have to do a mission, and you're going to have to do the secret Easter egg kind of hidden thing inside of that mission instead of going to the end regularly, just like the black spindle, except that's only one part of a long quest chain to get this. You're going to be looking for the mission Paradox, and just like the mission Last Rites for the black spindle, or Lost to Light, I'm sorry, you are going to have to do this when it is the daily, and you won't even be getting the quest from doing this mission immediately. See how this works is you do the Easter egg on this daily, and then a week later you will be able to get the quest from the future war cult person NPC. I forget her name. Her name is Lashmi. A week after you do this as the daily, you will get the quest from her. So I recommend that you do it as soon as possible. As when this quest first came out, people were kind of salty because they weren't able to get the quest because they hadn't done the daily. My advice is do the daily every day, because if you don't, there's probably going to be a lot more hidden things like this where you need to do it to get an exotic. I mean, it's bound to happen. Look how much stuff they've done in the DLC. Just do your dailies, guys, and plus you'll get a lot of stuff for it anyway. But now I'm gonna tell you guys how to do the Easter egg on this mission. Now, the way you do this is you do the mission regularly, but you need to find 3 ghosts. They aren't actually dead ghosts, but they are kind of that way. They're actually memories of Praedyth in specific hidden spots, very hidden spots, which you would not find on your own if you didn't know every inch of the Vault of Glass. They are pretty well hidden, and I'm going to give you all 3 of the ghost. Now, the first place you're going to want to find the ghost memory is the secret jungle maze to the Templar's Well, which I've shown in a tutorial video. But for those of you who don't know, at the beginning you drop down here and then you jump over here, and yes, this is in the raid too. It's not just for this mission. This has always been here since the beginning, but you're going to want to come around here, and then you'll collect the memory, and then you'll get some audio from Praedyth, but I'll let you listen to that when you actually do this. And I'm going to show you guys how to get through the rest of the maze so that you don't collect the memory and then get stuck in the maze and not be able to finish the mission. Also, if you wipe one time during this whole mission, you will not be able to finish the Easter egg. You need to do this by getting the 3 ghosts and not dying. You can die, but your team can't wipe. I know I did solo this, but it really wasn't that difficult if you know what you're doing. If you don't, I really recommend that you get a team because it makes things way easier anyway. I just really don't like to play with other people. But yeah, that's how you get through there, and then you jump to the next part of the mission, and I'll show you where the second ghost is now. So instead of going through the big door in the center of the room like the mission tells you to do, you're going to want to go through the route that you go to for the exotic chest in the raid instead. And it's very important that you don't wipe on this part if you're soloing, because again, you will not be able to finish this little Easter egg if you wipe. It will just totally disappear. You won't be able to do it again. You'll have to restart. So remember, be very careful. So just come down here, and when you get to the pillar that kind of goes up to a little, I'd say like this part over here, you'll see this little ledge. As we come up right here, you see this rock, and then you see this pillar, and then you go on top of the pillar. There'll be this little ledge over here. You come over here, it'll say Gorgon's Labyrinth, and you wait, and the ghost will spawn. You pick it up, and since you entered a new area, the audio from Pradith will be a little delayed, but it will come. So then you just come down and you go to the Gorgon's Labyrinth and you do the next part of the mission. So after you defeated the final boss in the mission, and as you see, I do have people joining me because this guy is here so I can help him do the quest, and my friend Matarochia1204, which you may remember from old videos. He also used to have a YouTube channel, but he got tired of uploading, so it's gone. For those of you who are wondering why his YouTube channel just went away. He also got off of PSN for a while. He was busy with stuff, so please don't be mad. But yeah, after you defeat the final boss, instead of going to inspect the ghost or the skeleton or whatever, you don't want to do that. You want to go to Atheon's room over here, or the jumping puzzle. You're going to want to go to the Vault of Glass, and you're going to want to take a different route than usual. So after you've made it to the Vault of Glass and you're at the jumping puzzle, the platforms will not spawn normally. You're going to want to go to the left into this cave. It's not that difficult, but as you can see here, I have to wait for my friend to jump over here, and it takes a while. I have no idea why, but you're going to want to go to the end of this cave here, and then when you look over the edge, you're going to see a bunch of platforms kind of hanging from the wall, as you can see right now. Well, not now. Now, you're going to want to go to the bottom one, just jump down here, and then jump to this one. It's not that hard, and then there'll be a little cave over here, and then you'll see the last, third memory, and I'm going to wait for my friend to come here and collect it. He's having a lot of problems with actually getting inside there, but he goes in there, he collects the last memory, and then you hear more audio from Pradith, and the portal that everybody's always been curious about, Vault of Glass, yep, it opens up, and then the platforms start spawning, and that's where you actually go to finish the Easter egg. So that's why that portal's always been sitting there. That's what they've been planning to do with it. I always knew it was there for some reason, but yeah. So then after that, you're going to want to jump over there to the portal. We wait for our friend Masaru Chiha, but after he comes, as you can see, we actually start jumping over those portals, and I'm going to show you guys which route I used to jump over there so that you guys know which way to go and don't die if you're soloing this. So because of course if you wipe, then it's over. But it's way better to have teammates, so if you have them on hand, I recommend using them. Nothing wrong with soloing sometimes, though. I understand if you don't like people, trust me. But you jump over here, and you jump to the portal, and then you go inside the portal, and this is the route I took. And then you're done, and then your friends jump into the portal. If you jump yourself, they will be teleported to you. So you could just go in yourself if you don't feel like waiting for them. But after that, just step inside the portal and you will be teleported to where you usually are when you get teleported to Venus in the Vaulted Glass raid. Now, there will be taken all around, and if you want to hear it, there will be audio from Praetif talking about lore and all this other stuff. But yeah, you kill all the Taken. There's an invisible giant Taken Minotaur that you have to kill. Another reason why this is better with friends, it's way easier to kill him when you have other people, and trust me, he has a crap ton of health. And after you're done dealing with the Blighted Descendant, Giant Taken Minotaur, all of the ads will despawn, which do spawn frequently throughout the fight, so don't try to clear them out because it's really no use. The goblins will shield the boss, so you need to watch out for that. But Praetif will start talking about more stuff, and this door right here will open, as you already know if you've seen my Bungie troll video, which I will also leave a link of in the description for you guys. But yeah, after this, you're going to want to come in here, get your rewards. I already did this, so I don't get the Cult Ghost. But I can show you gameplay of me getting the Cult Ghost in the video. Bungie trolls, just skip to the end and you'll see me getting the Cult Ghost and turning it in. You get nothing but reputation and Grimoire score for Praetif's door. But little did me and my fire team know that a week after that, you'll actually get the quest for the exotic. Now you guys are probably thinking, well, after this, no, you wait a week, we can probably go get our exotic from the future war cult lady, right? No. Unfortunately, the tutorial part of this video for getting the weapon is probably going to be way longer than the review part, because all of that I just told you how to do was only the first step of an 8-step quest line. After you do the mission and do the Easter egg, you wait a week and then she will give you the option to accept this new quest called Not Forged in Light. Now after you do this, you do the Ready for War part, and that is you have to earn 1,000 rep exactly with Future War Cult. Unfortunately, that meant I had to abandon Dead Orbit, and now I can't join Dead Orbit until the weekly reset again, which I'm very mad about. But it's all worth it for the exotic at the end. So what I would recommend is turn in a bunch of Motes of Light, and it'll be easy to get 1,000 rep. Unfortunately, I did not have enough Motes of Light, so I had to go do some bounties. Now after you have earned exactly 1,000 reputation with the Future Monarchy, the Future War Cult. I said Future Monarchy, New Monarchy, Future War Cult, New Monarchy, Future Monarchy. But once you have earned 1,000 reputation exactly with Future War Cult, then it will be time for you to do the next step, which will be to find a Taken Minotaur, kill it, and he will drop something called a simulation core. And when you put your cursor over it, it will give you the option to shatter it. And then this will give you the next step of the quest. Unfortunately, I do not have a gameplay of me doing this, which I do apologize for. But yes, the next step of the quest will be to defeat Atheon. There's no special things, you just have to be there when Atheon dies, and he will drop something called Atheon's Eye. So that's all you have to do. You just have to beat Atheon, and then just like the simulation core, you will have to shatter that. Now it shouldn't be too hard for you and your fire team to take down Atheon. I mean, come on guys, we're into the 3rd DLC, year 2 of this game, and we're talking about the normal mode version of the first raid in the game. You can get him in one run, most likely, as you see here, and he will drop the Eye of Atheon, as you'll see in a second. It's pretty easy, and it's a guaranteed drop. There's no chances or anything. Here you go. And then you will have to shatter it. It's not that hard. I'd recommend just looking up people with the Atheon checkpoint on LFG. So that's it. Now, after you shatter the Eye of Atheon and you get the next step for the quest, you will go to Lashimi 2 in the tower, and then you will get the next part of the quest, which will tell you to go to the Crucible map, the Twilight Gap, and you'll have to find this chest. Now, the next part of the quest, and the second to last part, is to go to the Crucible map, the Twilight Gap, and look for a chest. Now, of course, there are special conditions. There will be pools of light everywhere, which you will need because those will cleanse you. And the longer you do not go into the pools of light, your screen will start to get dark, much like the Vault of Glass being tainted when you need cleansed, and your health will start to go down. And when your screen is all the way full of black, eventually you'll just die. So you have to go around and get pools, and at the same time look for this chest. Now, do not be embarrassed if you cannot find the chest. I couldn't find it for a while either. It wasn't that long though. I'm not saying it took like an hour. It only took me like 15 minutes, and usually it'd take people way faster than that. It was in a spot that not a lot of people get the chest in. A lot of people get it on the side of the map with the cannons, but mine was in the middle of the map. Now return to Lashimi to get the final part of the quest, where you will have to go into the Black Garden and fight through a bunch of Vex. Now, the Vex are level 42 at the end, and it is pretty difficult. You will need 3 people, trust me. Or if you're really try hard, you can probably manage with 2 people. You will not be able to do it with 1, but you will need 3 people. And when you get to the end, there will be an anger meter. Now, the anger meter fills up by killing Vex, and when it gets to 100, the groundskeeper boss will spawn. Now, if anybody in your fire team has a sleeper simulant, he should be the one shooting at the groundskeeper since it does so much damage on a crit. The other 2 should be killing Taken and focusing on destroying them so the anger meter stays above 100%. Swords work very well on the Minotaurs. We actually got ours to 200% and tried to keep it around there, and it was pretty easy. Now, after the gatekeeper has died and you have completed this part of the quest, go to Lashimi to finally receive your No Time to Explain exotic pulse rifle. She'll have a lot to say. She'll talk about how the weapon was actually meant to be given to you and how inside the weapon casing it says soon. Now, obviously this means that the exotic version of this weapon was sent by the stranger, the Exo Stranger from the first part of the whole Destiny story. So I'm guessing that maybe in the next DLC we'll be able to see her again. But that's just speculation. So on to the actual weapon review. Now this weapon does perform identical, as you could expect, to the Stranger's Rifle. As you can see right here, I'm killing enemies with the Stranger's Rifle. Even with its 170 attack, it does pretty decent. And then I switch to the No Time to Explain, and it's pretty much the same. Everything is the same except for the final perk. Now, for those of you who are wondering what's different about the final perk, the final perk for the Stranger's Rifle is Rewind. Shooting shots or missed shots have a chance to return ammo to the magazine, as you can see here. The difference between that and the No Time to Explain is the final perk for the No Time to Explain is Rewind again. All shots that are precision shots are immediately returned to the magazine, which is pretty handy because it's kind of like the Black Hammer. You get precision shots and you get ammo back. And unlike the nerfed version of the Black Hammer or Black Spindle, it doesn't come from your magazine. It just comes out of thin air. So if you can get a bunch of precision shots, as you can see here, I used the first boss in the game as an example, you have unlimited ammo, and it's pretty awesome indeed. I do like this perk a whole lot. Now, in terms of what I think about this weapon overall, I think it's fantastic because they took one of my favorite guns and turned it into an exotic and made it relevant to the DLC that we are playing now, which is pretty cool because I've been using the Stranger's Rifle a lot in PvP, and I've been doing fantastic with it, and I was so worried because Trials is coming soon. Since the Hunter glitch was fixed, it is no longer has to be postponed. And, you know, since it's a 170 attack weapon, it will obviously bring down my light a lot, and I wouldn't be able to do Trials with such low light. But now that I can have the exotic version, that can be up to 310 light, and I can infuse it to however much attack I want to, I'll be able to basically have the Stranger's Rifle in Trials and keep using my favorite weapon. So thank you, Bungie, for that. And now some fun facts about the weapon to end it off. If you recognize this weapon from somewhere and you don't know where, then you're probably thinking of the gun, the Fate of All Fools. Now, you all know the Fate of All Fools was one of the guns that was supposed to be in the game, but they pushed it back and pushed it back, and you know, eventually it was added, kind of. I know you guys talk about, what do you mean? One person in the world does have the Fate of All Fools, but yeah, it basically was a scout rifle that everybody was pretty excited about because it was supposed to be fantastic, which it is, and it has the same gun skin as the Stranger's Rifle. So just like the No Time to Explain skin is the Stranger's Rifle, but it's green, the Fate of All Fools skin is basically the Stranger's Rifle, but it's gray. So that's probably why they changed it up. And for those of you who don't know, the Fate of All Fools was added. What they did was they changed the way it looks and they changed the name. And the Fate of All Fools was turned into the Jade Rabbit. So the Jade Rabbit Scout Rifle is actually the Fate of All Fools. If you don't believe me, you can look it up and compare the stats. They're exactly the same. Even their exotic perk is the same. It's both the Fate of All Fools. So it technically was added. I'm guessing that they changed it up because they didn't want an exotic that looked like another exotic. Maybe the Fate of All Fools was supposed to take the role of the No Time to Explain and be the exotic version of Stranger's Rifle, but they changed it up and made it its own exotic. But that's all for me, guys. That's all for this review. I know it was a long tutorial, but that's how you get the weapon. And it may seem very long, but if you have people to help you with it, it can be done very fast. So thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys go and pick up your No Time to Explain. And have a nice day. See you later.